Zachary Belknap, vegan, is a professional natural bodybuilder and a certified trainer from Oregon, USA. Being free from alcohol and all performance-enhancing drugs, Zachary is likewise extremely passionate about the vegan lifestyle that supercharges his successful career, embraces all precious lives, and safeguards our magnificent planet. As one of the first vegan natural bodybuilders since 2016, Zachary earned his pro card in 2018 and won his first title a year later. His professional career truly took off in 2022 when he placed second in the light-heavy bodybuilding and first in the classic physique at the NPC or National Physique Committee Pacific Coast Championship in Oregon. He then secured first place in the pro men's bodybuilding at the WNBF or World Natural Bodybuilding Federation Columbia Classic in Auburn, Washington. Continuing his success, Zachary dominated the NPC Oregon Open in Salem, taking first place in both the light-heavy bodybuilding and the classic physique, and even winning the overall classic physique title. Zach concluded his impressive 2022 season with a victory in the pro men's bodybuilding at the WNBF Muscle Mayhem in Sacramento and was invited as a guest to the INBF or International Natural Bodybuilding Federation Cecil Phillips Classic in Eugene, Oregon. Energetic viewers, on today's show, we're excited to have Zachary with us, sharing his passion for natural bodybuilding and fantastic experiences as a professional vegan athlete. We will also learn more about Zachary's incredible vegan plant-based diet that helps him to stay fit, healthy, and positive year-round.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Zachary Belknap. I have been vegan since 2016, so 8 years, I believe. And just after making that switch, I also decided to get into competitive bodybuilding. And that's kind of been my whole life journey since then, is using bodybuilding as my way to kind of advocate for animals and be a voice for the voiceless.
Zachary Belknap's journey from sports to bodybuilding has been nothing short of remarkable. His passions have transformed over time, transitioning from playing sports to discovering a deep love for fitness and bodybuilding. He had a transformative experience when he stepped on the stage for the first time. He felt a profound realization. This was more than just an enjoyable pursuit. It was something he was destined to excel in. His talent and passion aligned, propelling him toward success.
It developed over time. I realized when I was like 16 years old, I was playing a lot of sports, and part of like the practice for the sports was going to the gym and working out. And at some point I started having less fun playing. I was playing baseball at the time, and more fun working out in the gym. And that's kind of where I just developed my passion for fitness and also my passion for sharing that with others. As I was learning and kind of gaining my own success, it became really fun for me to like bring my friends in and teach them what I was learning and see them learn and grow and become, even better. So that led me well into, about like my mid-20s, and I started working at the gym that I work at now. And everyone there was into competitive bodybuilding. To me, it was something that I kind of was like, maybe I'll do it one day. I'm not sure. But my coach, he basically just decided for me. I came to work one day and he was like, all right, you're in prep now. You're getting ready to do a bodybuilding show. And I just kind of said, okay, I guess this is what's happening. And that year I did really well. And the moment I stepped on stage for the first time, I realized that it was something I was going to be not only enjoy a lot, but that I was actually pretty good at.
Zachary bravely chose the road less traveled to become a pioneer in veganism, making the seemingly impossible possible. Let's delve deeper into Zachary's journey, exploring the challenges he faced as a vegan bodybuilder and how they fueled his mission to prove to the world that veganism is a game changer for professional athletes.
The first thing to overcome was having to just kind of figure everything out food-wise for myself. But after that, one of the bigger issues was just not being taken seriously because of all of the myths and the misconceptions that people believe about vegan diets, and especially when it relates to strength and muscle. So there was a lot of kind of like hate on the internet, people saying everything we've always heard, like you can't do this and you won't be good at it, and all those kinds of things, especially for my first like year or two of bodybuilding. And since then, I try to say it with humility, but I have had a lot of really good success in bodybuilding and beaten a lot of people. And so that's not as much of an issue anymore. But in the beginning, it was definitely a lot of doubt that I had to face. And I'm happy to say that that's not as much of a problem anymore. It's really not a limitation. It's truly an advantage. And that's kind of why I decided that bodybuilding would be the perfect avenue to prove that to people, because if I can get on stage and beat other people and like be bigger and be stronger, then there's no reason for them to believe that those myths anymore.
Vegan, saying too healthy for your liking? Don't be silly.
Just water. I enjoy black tea and I enjoy black coffee, but mostly just water, between like 1 gallon to 2 gallons a day usually. Yeah. And actually I'm getting pretty close to 3 years of sobriety. So I stopped drinking alcohol a little while ago, and I'm really proud about that. So I like to mention it when I can. I suppose natural bodybuilding and unnatural bodybuilding are going to be the same things. Basically, they're built on the foundation of weight training and proper nutrition. It's just that the unnatural, or the dark side, if you will, they just use performance enhancing drugs to get to a different level, or typically to get there faster, and just end up with larger physiques that are in most cases unattainable without the drugs. I don't know a whole lot about the use of steroids, but I do know that some of the complications are like enlargement of the heart or various other organs like the liver, and that can just be really stressful on the body, and like increased blood pressure and things like that, things that we try to avoid by being on a vegan diet in the first place. And so for longevity and health, it's definitely better to not be using these compounds.
Vegan, beloved of heaven.
Cherished viewers, we will wrap up our insightful episode with many delicious and power-packed vegan meals that Zachary enjoys during his training and off-season. We hope all professional athletes will follow suit by switching to the science-backed plant-based diet for optimal health, superior performances, rapid recovery, and ultimately a better world.
So I'm currently in prep right now, which just means that I'm like dieting and trying to get my body fat lower. And in this time, I just do the same meals over and over. So I eat 4 times a day, and all 4 of those meals will have like a cup of steamed vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. 2 of them have brown rice and 2 of them have sweet potatoes. And then I just do a huge medley of proteins. So tofu and tempeh and homemade seitan. And then these more processed foods like beefless crumbles from Trader Joe's. And I just repeat those for the duration of my prep, which this year is going to be about 11 months long. And then whenever I need a little bit of variety, I just change the seasonings or the sauces or whatever. But in the off season, where I'm not being so strict on my diet, that's when I really like to expand with my culinary skill set. We'll make things that are a little bit more extravagant. I think it's something that we're innately born with, is the desire to not inflict harm on innocent beings. And any young child that learns about what happens to animals is going to be traumatized. They'll cry and throw a fit, and it's something that we learn to accept just through society, like by our teachers and our friends and our family showing us that like this is normal and this is okay. And we have to learn to ignore those feelings of maybe like this is wrong. So I encourage everyone to go back to that and understand that if it's unnecessary, then it's cruel, then it's wrong.
Veganism for me is also a way of longevity. I really want to have longevity. I think everybody does. I live a good life and I would like to extend it for as long as I can. Chase Armitage, vegan.
So much about me has changed since I made the decision to be vegan. As I mentioned, what kind of convinced me in the first place was the documentary Cowspiracy. And I always thought of myself as an environmentalist. And when I realized the impact that animal agriculture had on the environment, I was like, I can't support this anymore. And I actually made the switch like immediately. And so, yeah, the environment was my focus in the beginning, but over time, the longer I stayed away from animal foods and animal products, the more I realized it was an ethical and a moral necessity, like something that needed to be done. I wanted to avoid inflicting harm on innocent beings. And so my focus has completely switched over to a more compassionate focus and like animal rights. So that's probably the first and most important change that has happened with me. But I also realized that experience changed my mind. It changed the way that I think about things. Like it broke my perception of the world and the way that I viewed it. I think it's something that we're innately born with, is the desire to not inflict harm on innocent beings. And any young child that learns about what happens to animals is going to be traumatized. They'll cry and throw a fit, and it's something that we learn to accept just through society, like by our teachers and our friends and our family showing us that like this is normal and this is okay. And we have to learn to ignore those feelings of maybe like this is wrong. So I encourage everyone to go back to that and understand that if it's unnecessary, then it's cruel, then it's wrong. Every single living vegan on this planet is proof that we don't need animal products to survive. So if you're unwilling to kill and eat your dog or your cat, it's because you recognize that they have ethical and moral value. And if they have it, then every single other animal also has that. They're of equal value, ethically and morally speaking. I also think that the world would be a more ethical place if everyone could expand their compassion to all living creatures. Then why would we not be more compassionate to each other?
Vegan side effect: walking proudly in all the universes.
My primary method for vegan advocacy is bodybuilding, just because I feel like that challenges like the number one myth or the top myths about veganism and what people are capable of. And it also gets a lot of attention just in social media and that sort of thing. And if there was a population that needs the most convincing, it's certainly going to be the fitness community, I think. But I also really enjoy, for a long time, volunteering at a animal sanctuary very close to here. And that was really fun and rewarding. And after all the work was done, we would get to like play with the animals, and there was a lot of piglets and a lot of really friendly cows. And then I would just take videos of me with the animals and share that on my social media. And everyone would be like, oh, it's so cute, little baby piggies. And that would give me an opportunity to say, yeah, they are cute. We should protect them and not eat them for bacon. Like they're fantastic animals. Or, a cow that's like licking my face, and having that same conversation. And as far as my greatest achievements, of course, I think this will be bodybuilding related, but my first greatest achievement was becoming vegan. I'm so happy about it, and like so many other people, I just wish that I had done it sooner. But after that, it was earning my pro status in the WNBF, the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation, as a natural athlete. That happened on my second season of bodybuilding, so my second year as a competitive bodybuilder. And since then, I have competed 3 times in pro level shows, and I've won all 3 of them. So I'm very proud of that. And also winning the overall at the Oregon State Open was pretty fantastic. And lastly, I would also say starting my online coaching business with my partner, Amanda, we're both very excited about being able to share both health and wellness and fitness, if you will, as well as like veganism to anyone that's vegan curious. We really want to work with vegan people, but we also invite anyone that's interested in maybe adopting a vegan lifestyle. So moving that business to an online avenue gives us a lot more reach. We can now work with anybody in the world, and we're very excited about that. And I think a lot has changed, and it's changing favorably. In the beginning, 8 years ago, it was very fringe and sort of looked down upon or almost despised, and that still exists very much. However, a lot of documentaries have come out, specifically like The Game Changers. That was a fantastic film, and if you haven't seen it, you very much should see it. It's really fun, and it examines exactly veganism in sports. And stuff like that, I think, changes public perception a little bit, because it gets a lot of views, and even if people don't become vegan, they at least will recognize that it's possible and that the things that they've been told aren't true. So there was like the twins study on Netflix. Things like that are becoming more popular. There's like a lot more demand for it. And I think media is really the way that we kind of alter public perception. So it's still very much not the norm, but people are at least starting to accept that it's possible and opening up to that. And I think that's maybe the number one way. But also when I started, I was one of the only like vegan bodybuilders that I knew of. And now I could list off like 15 people. And I'm very much not saying that was like because of me or anything. I didn't know anybody. And over the years, I've just met more and more people. And there's an entire team going to the Mr. America competition this year. And I think there are like 15 or 20 athletes that are going to go to the show and just represent vegan bodybuilding. And that would not have happened, I don't think, 8 years ago. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Bravo, Zachary Belknap, for your remarkable journey. We are truly grateful for your presence on this planet, inspiring many to embrace a vegan lifestyle. May the heavens always light every step you take on this noble path, the path towards world vegan, world peace. For more information about Zachary Belknap Vegan, please search for Zachary Belknap on Facebook and/or Bold Body Fitness LLC on Instagram.
Vegan, the harvester of merit.